Hey folks, welcome back to another live Q&A session with yours truly, Sam Healy. You may notice right off the bat that something might be a little different. I decided to shave. That's all. So it was time for a change. So went ahead and did it. Didn't really like how this was coming out. It was just too swirly. Didn't like it very much, and it was becoming an annoyance. So. Surprisingly, though, it was not itchy, which beards that I've tried to grow in the past were very itchy, and it wasn't. So that's that. But we are going to just jump in today. As one person, Tropical Penguin, has already found out, there is no overarching subject for today. I didn't have time to come up with one, so we're just going to see where the conversation takes us. So you just go ahead and ask away, and then I will also just try to follow along and answer as many questions as I possibly can. So I will be popping over to the Twitch feed every once in a while just to see if we have any questions coming up there. We are live streaming on Twitch as well. That is twitch.tv /The Dice Tower. So you can go ahead and put in some questions over there if you'd like, and I'll pop in every once in a while. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to what we have so far in the YouTube chat. Jacob Rozalski, something's going on with the art that was used for Scythe. I guess I just don't care about it, and I don't know. It's just not a hot topic for me, but there's something going over on Reddit, and I usually try to stay away from Reddit. So there you have it. Let's see, no theme for today. We already talked about that. We could play some Memoir during the wait for questions. Well, hopefully the wait won't be that long, because hopefully, we got some people showing up. Only 24, but that's okay. We'll have some more showing up later on. It was kind of a last minute thing. I was under the weather on Monday. And Tuesday, I had to spend half a day at the dentist with my son. I didn't have to, but I wanted to, so we went ahead and did that. So it's already been it was already a truncated week because we're leaving for Atlanta tomorrow to go to CMON Expo. So there's just not a whole lot of time to get things done this week. So good to see you too, Larry. Thank you for stopping by. What are your thoughts on the retreat announced for December? Well, we talked about this for a little bit before he actually announced it, and it's a cool idea. I think it'll be interesting to see how it plays out and unfolds and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's a good idea, and I think it's another way for us to connect to you guys. So of course, if you're able to come, so it's just another way that we can do that. Love from Mexico. Hello, thank you for joining us. Hello, Lewis, Spurs fan. They're in San Antonio. Sorry to see the beard goat. It was very Viking-esque. Yeah, I was going for it, but I guess I just got impatient, and it was time for a change. Have you tried the Seventh Continent? Any comment or opinion? We've played Seventh Continent exactly one time. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. It was a fun experience, but I just don't have that much time invested in it. So I don't have a whole lot of, I guess you could say, I don't have a lot to talk about because it was a while ago, so my memory's a little blurry. But it was only one session, so I don't really have a lot of input there. Are you expecting any more Blood Rage content? Adge Matthew says, no, I'm not. But I also kind of want to leave the door open. I see where possibly things could be put in there, but I don't think that any of it is necessary. I think Blood Rage is a finished product. And there's a inkling in the back of my brain that's saying that I've heard or Eric say, or I've heard tell that Eric said that Blood Rage is done. So I don't know. If they do come out with more, that'll be cool. If they don't, I'm good. I'm happy with Blood Rage the way it is. How was the Somnicum board game for you? I haven't played Somnicum. So I don't know yet. So we'll have to just wait and see. Let's see here. Just bought a copy of Corleone's Empire. Thoughts on it? That's the Eric Lang one, I believe. I do enjoy it. It's a fun area control game. If you bought it for the Godfather theme and to have a lot of tie-ins with the movie, you're probably going to be disappointed because it isn't. There have been a lot of people who were very, very huge Godfather fans that have really taken Simon and Eric to task on the fact that it is not tied to the theme of the movie franchise very well. But I think it's a good gangster game, and I think there's a lot of that kind of theme in there. It's just not per the movie franchise. So I hopefully you weren't buying it for that. Let's see. Would there ever be a top 10 designers again? I noticed you did one 4 years ago. Wondering how the list would carry out today. I don't know. I guess I can put some thought into that. I'll go back and look at the list and how it was done and see if there would be any change. That would be the main reason for redoing the list, is to update it, because there have been maybe some that have fallen off the list, some that were added, and so forth and so on. But unless that were the case, I probably wouldn't do it again. But you never know. Let's see. Any advice on how to make my friends interested in board games? Nope. That's one of the taboo things, is to try to make people do or get interested in a hobby that they don't want to be interested in. There are different strokes for different folks, and you just have to kind of go with the flow with who you're playing games with, and see who catches on, or rather not catches on, but who shows interest and who doesn't. If somebody is definitely not interested in playing board games, don't make them play board games, because that'll just push them further away. So that would be my advice on how to make friends interested in board games, and that is simply not to do that. If you were to guess, which games would you think will win the 2017 Dice Tower Awards? I would imagine Gloomhaven's going to win something, if not multiple things. But honestly, I haven't really taken a look at the. I voted on the nominations, but I haven't looked at the actual the actual nominations. So let me go ahead and see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, and we'll go through it together. Let's see here. I'm still looking, using my mouse. Announcing the Dice Tower Award nominees. All right, so here we go. Most innovative: Gloomhaven, Charterstone, 7th Continent, Fog of Love, Drop Mix. Now, I haven't played Drop Mix, but that's a pretty cool sounding game, so that might be in the running. I don't know. I think Charterstone and 7th Continent were good games. Haven't played Fog of Love either. Gloomhaven I've only played once, so I don't know. But out of that mixture, no pun intended, I would choose Drop Mix for most innovative. Best two-player game, we've got Santorini, Fog of Love, Codenames Duet, Caverna Cave versus Cave, Fox in the Forest. That my pick would probably go to Santorini, but I wouldn't be. The only one that I haven't played in that is Fog of Love. So the only one that out of the ones that I've played, I don't think I would be sad with any of those winning. That's a good crop of games. Best theming: This War of Mine, Ex Libris, Spirit Island, Near and Far Photosynthesis. Ooh. Photosynthesis I like a lot. Near and Far was fun as well. Spirit Island is also good. Ex Libris is good. I have not played This War of Mine. So out of the 4 that I have played at this point, My pick for best theming would probably be photosynthesis. I think that's the best theme out of that bunch. Not that any of the other games themes are bad per se. It's just I think that one's the coolest one, I guess you could say. Best strategy game: Anachrony, Spirit Island, Near and Far, Gloomhaven, Dinosaur Island. Oh wow! Only one I haven't played out of that group is Dinosaur Island. So, whew, man, I don't know. I've only played Gloomhaven once. I've only played Near and Far once, and I've only played all of these only once. So, who do I think? I would imagine Gloomhaven's going to get that one. Best reprint: Nemo's War, Colosseum, Stop Thief, Twilight Imperium 4th Edition, or Downforce. My pick is Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. But I could see Stop Thief or Downforce getting it. And Colosseum was a good reprint too. I didn't like some of the graphic designs of it, some of the color palettes that were used. But the fact that they reprinted it and they left it largely alone, and the components are nice, don't get me wrong. So yeah, I think that Colosseum also has a chance there. Best party game: Magic Maze, Word Slam, Where Words, Meeple Circus, Rhino Hero, Super Battle. Well, out of those, I've not played any of them. I would imagine, though, that Rhino Hero Super Battle will pull that one out. Best game from a small publisher: Century Spice Road, Sagrada, Seventh Continent, Gloomhaven, Azul. Wow. My pick would be Sagrada, but I could definitely see Gloomhaven picking that one, getting that one as well. Best game from a new designer: Gloomhaven, Photosynthesis, Spirit Island, Dragon Castle, Too Many Bones. Only one I haven't played there is Too Many Bones, but that one sold like hotcakes at Gen Con. I do know that. So Dragon Castle's also good. I think all of these have a fair chance at winning. I'm just, and it's nothing against Gloomhaven. I just hope that it doesn't just sweep everything, and that's nothing against Gloomhaven or its designers or publishers or anything like that. But I like to see variety in award shows. So I hope Gloomhaven loses out on some of these, but I think my pick would probably be Dragon Castle for best game from a new designer. Best family game: Azul, Baron Park, Century Spice Road, Downforce, and Sagrada. Ooh, I would say probably either Downforce or Baron Park. I don't really think Azul is a family game. I mean, it's family weight, but it's a pretty, well, I guess not. I don't know. Downforce would get my pick, with Sagrada a very close second. Best expansion: Scythe, Wind Gambit, Terraforming Mars, Venus Next, Star Wars Rebellion, Rise of the Empire, Zaya, Embers of a Forsaken Star, and Champions of Midgard, Valhalla. My choice would be either Rise of the Empire for Rebellion or Champions of Midgard, Valhalla. I would imagine that either the Venus Next or the Wind Gambit will get it, though. Maybe Embers of a Forsaken Star, but I haven't played that. Best cooperative game: Gloomhaven, Flip Ships, Pandemic Legacy Season 2, Spirit Island, and Seventh Continent. My pick would be Pandemic Legacy Season 2. I don't think Spirit Island will get it. Flip Ships, maybe, but it might be too silly in how you play the game. Not that it's a silly game. And I haven't really played Seventh Continent enough to weigh in on that. So that one I don't really know. My pick would be Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Best board game production: TI4, yeah. Wasteland Express Delivery Service, Charterstone, Azul, Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, I liked the trees, but I didn't like anything else in the box. I think the box insert was very chintzy, so that wouldn't hit very high on my thing. Charterstone was very well produced. So there's that possibility. My pick would be either Wasteland Express Delivery Service or Twilight Imperium 4th Edition. Both of those had stellar game production values. Azul was cool that it had all those, Bakelite, I think that's Bakelite tokens and things on there, but to me, it really doesn't hold a candle to Wasteland Express Delivery Service or TI4. So there you go. Best artwork, Near and Far, Lisboa, Charterstone, Century Golem Edition, or Yamatai. Yamatai was really a pretty game. Lisboa was also very nice, although I haven't played it. It looked good. Near and Far, I love Ryan Lockett's stuff, so I love him as an artist, and I like a lot of his games as well, too. So I would probably pick either Yamatai or Near and Far, but I do think that Golem Edition for Century was also very nice looking. Best game of the year. Okay, those are 7th Continent, Century, Spike Road, Charterstone, Dinosaur Island, Gloomhaven, Near and Far, Pandemic Legacy Season 2, Sagrada, Spirit Island, and Azul. All of these are good games. I've played all but one of them. So I have not played Dinosaur Island, so my pick... what do I think's going to get it? I think Gloomhaven's going to get it, but I would probably choose Pandemic Legacy Season 2 just because I like that a lot better than my initial experience with Gloomhaven. My initial experience with Pandemic Legacy Season 2 was much better than my initial experience with Gloomhaven. And there's some history with it there too, so that's that. So that was a very, 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 very long answer to Derailer 12. So there you have it. What do you think of Mexican collectible card game? I don't. I'm so far out of the collectible card game arena now that when I find out that something else has come along, then it's just not going to happen. My my daughter is calling me. Just a moment. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, folks. I did not want to miss that call because people are getting out of school right now. So, and we work right close to where the school is. Just want to make sure everything was okay. All right, so let's continue on here. Would you ever see TI4 replaced by a revised version? Wow, seeing as how they took a good 2 years to do this revising, I doubt it. I think this had a lot more to do with the anniversary of the game than the fact that a revision was truly necessary. There was a lot of, I guess you could say, loopholes in TI3, but now that they have this one and they really kind of worked hard on it for a good long time, I don't know that it's going to be necessary. The TI4 is really about as streamlined as you could possibly get and still have the epic nature of TI3. So I don't expect it, not even close. Let's see here. Top 5 games that take a long time to play. Wow. Well, definitely TI4 is in there. Fury of Dracula is in there. Battlestar Galactica is in there, probably. I don't really consider Blood Rage a long game, but I guess it could be. So we'll stick that in there just for good measure, since it's my favorite game of all time. I'm not going to throw a legacy game in there because you can choose to stop and pick it up. So I don't know. There's 4. I don't know about a 5th one. Yeah, I don't know. There's 4. Sorry. Let's see here. Let's see. What is something you forget to take with you to conventions that you end up buying when you get there? Sometimes it's like, stuff like, toothpaste and that type of stuff that that you really can't do without it, but it's the stuff that you just kind of forget about while you're packing. So, but usually it's something like that. Do you know if any chances WizKids made their any changes? No, I don't know of any changes that WizKids made to their version of Fury of Dracula. I don't. None at all. Let's see. Let's see. Heard they were working on a new mini expansion for Ice Cool. They're adding Bouncer character. Ham Sealy. Yeah, I don't know about that, but new expansion for Ice Cool would be good. That's a very fun game to play with your kids, family. Would you recommend any solo games? I usually don't play solo games, so no. That would be like I don't know. That's just not my forte. So I'm not going to try to offer any of that. Liz Davidson, BeyondSolitaire.net, she does a segment called Solo Thrash on Throat Punch Lunch. She would probably be a good person to contact, and if she can't help you out, then she'd be able to hook you up with some other people that would. Really like Quadropolis. Other games like that you would recommend? I've only played Quadropolis once, and I know it's that city tile laying, building up aspect game. It's not that I don't like Quadropolis. I did, but I haven't played enough games in that genre, so to speak, to really give you much of an idea. Have you had any reviews that had no cons? Were there any games that you really had to nitpick to find a con? Mystic Scrolls, I just did that last week. I think I had a pretty nitpicky con on that one. Sometimes games that I'll really, really enjoy games, but I don't like one single thing about it, and usually it's not really nitpicky for me. It's just more of a thing like it is a really huge thing that I don't like, but I like everything else about the game so much that I'm willing to overlook it a little bit. So I wouldn't call that a nitpicky thing. I would just call it something that is outweighed by the goodness of everything else. So usually most games I can find something pretty easily that I don't like about it, but that doesn't always mean that I truly am nitpicking it. I just don't really like that one aspect of the game. Did you like the game Black Rose Wars? Yes, I did actually. It was very fun. And I enjoyed the experience. I would have to play the game more. We've played it twice. Tom has played it 3 times. So I enjoyed both experiences. I enjoyed the second experience much better than the first because I wasn't trying to understand all of the rules and so forth. So yeah, I liked the experience, but I would probably need to play it again with other people just to make sure it's the game that I enjoyed and not the experience of playing with Z and Tom. Let's see. Really have appreciated you guys on the Dice Tower. Got me into the Pandemic Legacy games. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoy those, Aaron. God's Not Dead or Left Behind. If you're talking about the original Left Behind series, that's a good series, but I really do enjoy the God's Not Dead series as well, although I haven't seen the newest one that has come out. So I guess I want to reserve my full, I guess you could say, verdict until after I've seen that. What was your favorite character in Marvel Infinity War and why? I'm not going to talk about Marvel Infinity War. I don't want to chance giving any spoilers, so I apologize. I've given up. My family won't play with me anymore. Now I begin my journey into strictly solo board gaming. Oh, that is a bummer. I apologize. Not that there's anything wrong with solo board gaming, but it sounds like you felt forced into it, and that is kind of a bummer. But From what I've heard, solo gaming can be very, very fun. I don't usually enjoy it that much, but I dabbled in it a little bit, and I might be speaking about that later on, a little bit more in depth. But I can see the draw. I can see the draw to it, but it's just not really for me. Have you played Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition with any of the expansions? No, I have not. Let's see here. Have you played Abyss Leviathan? No, I haven't. Lip reading, go. I'm terrible at lip reading. Looks serious. It wasn't. What's your opinion about sleeving your board games? I don't sleeve my board games usually, just because it's an extra cost that to me is unnecessary, especially given that we rarely play, not rarely, but the amount of times that we play the older games do not constitute enough wear and tear to then need sleeving. So since I know that's usually going to be the case with most of the games that I own, I don't sleeve. Now, if I had, just a few trick ponies that I knew I was always going to be playing a lot, then I might think heavily about sleeving the cards so that they did not succumb to wear and tear as quickly, but I usually don't sleeve the cards in my board games. Thoughts about X-Wing 2nd Edition? Am I going to upgrade my stuff? No, I'm not. That's not to say that they're not going to... If they send us stuff to review, we'll of course review it. Show you the differences, maybe do comparison videos and that type of stuff. But I'm not going to go out and buy upgrades to the stuff that I already have. I don't have any idea what Jason's going to do. What are my favorite fillers? That's an interesting question. It's one I don't usually think about, because a filler game is usually, oh, that was good, what's next? And that's all I really think about. But let's see, there was oh wow, there was a game, and I'm totally spacing on the name of the game now. It's a Japanese-themed dice rolling game from Fantasy Flight. Why can't I remember the name of the... What's the name of the thing? What's the name of the thing? You guys know. Something dice? I can't remember. Anyway, that's probably one of my favorite fillers, just because I like the dice in it. I like rolling the dice. I like how fast it plays, and I like how confrontational it is, and it plays pretty quickly as well, which all fillers usually are. But there's that. Anything from the gathering that before you were not aware of and are now super excited about it? We've done Miami Dice videos on all of the things that I did not know about and am excited about now. So the Choose Your Own Adventure game was a real hit with us. We went into it just saying, we'll just play a couple of the chapters and try to get the feel for it, and then we'll move on. But we ended up playing the game through to its end, all 5 chapters I think that there were. So that was a really fun thing. We got to play the set expansion that's coming out this year for Kemet, which basically turns Kemet into a one versus all game where Set is coming back, and all of the gods are going to are banding together to repel him, basically. So, but he's really powerful. He can buy some of your upgrades so that you can't buy them, and he can do all of these kinds of things, and he gets a lot more activations than all of the other gods do. So you really have to work together. It turns it into a semi-cooperative game. It's one versus all, but it really feels cooperative from the other's perspective. Of course, Set, you're wanting to dominate, but those 2 things were really, really fun. Let's see here. If you can remember, what was your first board game you played with Tom and Z, respectively? I cannot remember. I know early on that I played, I think it was I think it was 51st State was my first game that I played with Z. Back when it originally came out. And the reason that stuck in my mind is because I messed up one of the cards. And that was not cool. I could tell he was very not happy with me. So that was that. And with Tom, you know, man, I've known Tom for a very long time. And I could not... I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Risk game or Samurai Swords, possibly. Something like that. Risk, maybe. Maybe it was Star Wars CCG from Decipher way back when, or the Battletech CCG. Maybe it was one of those two. But that's the best as I can remember. What's the game you're looking forward to playing soon? I just got Big Trouble in Little China, the board game. So I'm looking forward to that. That's one of my favorite goofy movies of all time. So that is one that I'm looking forward to getting to the table. Anything you want to see improved or added to the WizKids Fury of Dracula? No, not really. I usually don't try to jump into that kind of discussion because you know, other people get paid to make those kind of choices. I don't. So yeah, no, I don't have anything like that. Any ideas on the new Air Pack from Days of Wonder? Don't have any new ideas. I know it is still on the way. That was confirmed when I talked to one of Days of Wonder's representatives at the gathering. It is still coming. It is still in the works. It's just it's taken a little bit longer than they were expecting it to, but they are still working on it. So yes, you can still do that. Do you still paint miniatures? Yes, I do, but it's on and off. There are no more battling brushes on it, and that's that. And you put a sad face in there, and that is a sad face. Rob and I, there's nothing, there's no bad blood between us. I think we just both got really, really, really busy, and we haven't been able to connect to get those running again. He has his own channel, and he works very hard, putting out a lot of great content for his channel. So I'm kind of not leery to ask, because I know how busy he is, you know, with not just his video channel, his YouTube channel, but he also has another job on top of that, and there were other things going on, so I just didn't want to impose, I guess you could say would be the best thing, and I just haven't talked to him in a while. But as far as I know, there's nothing bad blood there. I think we're still friends. I still consider him a great friend. But yeah, we are still painting. He still does a whole bunch of stuff, and Vernon and I are still working on our Warhammer 40K stuff as well. So there's that. I saw you were scheduled for Blood Rage game with guests at CMON. How does one sign up for that? I don't know. You'll have to contact CMON about that. But yeah, it's Saturday at 1 o'clock, I think. That's when we're going to be doing that. So 1 to 2:30. Hopefully we can get it done in that time, because we're leaving for the airport that evening. So, am I a co-owner of the Dice Tower? No, not even close. That is not the game. Tom is the CEO. Yes, he's the man in charge, the man with the plan. But no, I am not a co-owner of the Dice Tower. Not even close. No. Would you recommend Carcassonne Amazonas to someone who enjoys playing Cacao? I've never played Cacao, and if I have played Cacao, I don't recall very much about it. So, never played a Carcassonne game. Have you played both? No, I haven't played Cacao, but Carcassonne is a very simple game to play. Amazonas is probably one of the more complicated ways to play it, but even then, it's still pretty easy. So, sure, maybe. Again, I'm kind of shooting in the dark here because I've not played Cacao. The Next Time Stories is set to come out this year. I know the last one wasn't your favorites. I agree. Are you three going to play the next one? Is there still hope that it might be good? I would definitely like to play the next one. I really enjoy Time Stories. I think it's one of the games that pulls off the whole time travel theme well, or the best. So with that having been said, I would hope that we would, and I think we will. But again, I'm not the one that makes the final decision on that. But hopefully so, yes. Do you prefer painted miniatures during your hardcore games, Rising Sun, Blood Rage? If so, do you do it yourself? Well, I've not painted my miniatures for Blood Rage yet, just because I haven't got around to it. That would take a long time. There's a lot of miniatures in there. But I do like painted miniatures on a board. I think it makes the game come alive a little bit more. So, yeah, I do like them. I wouldn't say I prefer them to the extent that say like Vernon does, where he vastly does not or usually doesn't want to play a game that has miniatures unless those miniatures are painted. I'm not that far down the path, but I do enjoy them. I think they provide a good flair to the game. Have you, Tom, or Z considered doing a live playthrough of your entire top 100? Oh my goodness, that would take 4 EVs. And no, we have not. I was surprised that Santa Maria did not make the Dice Tower Game of the Year nominations. Was it in the running? I know both Eric and Jason like it a lot. I liked it too. I got to play it at Essen last year, and it was fun. And I don't know why. I don't know why. But it just didn't receive enough nominations, I guess. What do you think about this line in Infinity? No. Oh, that. Yeah. Again, I don't want to. I wish you hadn't written that down because that's a spoiler for people who haven't seen the movie. So I'm not going to talk about it. Have you tried the Hero Realms campaign, Rune of Thandar? I have not yet. It is sitting on my desk out in my workspace, but I have not tried it yet. Really enjoyed the Rebellion playthrough you and Tom did. Will you do it again soon with the expansion? Possibly, but I don't know. We'll see. When is the next top 10 video arriving? That I don't remember. We just had one land last week, I think. So maybe the week after we get back from CMON. I don't know. Tom is in and out almost every week this month. So going to different things. So without him being around, I don't know how many of those we're going to get turned out. But I would imagine it's going to be soon, but I don't know. Let's see. What did you think is the best Blood Rage expansion? I like the. I really like the Mystics expansion. I think that changes the game just enough to where it provides something that you have to think heavily about. You have control of one of those villages in that province, and you've got it. But you know that somebody has those mystics that can replace somebody in a village. So, it's those kinds of things. It doesn't change how the game plays. It just gives you another thing to think about. So I like the mystics. I also like the gods expansions. I think that keeps the gameplay live. When I play, I usually do it where you use 2 different gods for each age, so that you use 6 gods over the course of an age and not just 2. And I think that's the best way to do it because it provides the most variety. Age of War, that is correct. That was the filler game, Age of War, dice rolling, and it's just a really fun game. And I've seen people who are not usually board gamers really take to that game and have a lot of fun with it. So yes, that is correct, Age of War. That's the filler game. That's one of my favorite ones. Okay, I'll go here. Trevin Taylor says, God's not dead and the like always have straw men, fake atheists who are actually only pretending to be atheists because they're mad at God. It's very insulting. Atheists aren't just mad at God. I understand that. That's very true. And I can see that view of that franchise of movies. So I'm not decrying that. I don't know that I would call them straw men, but I understand the fake atheists part of it, and because I understand that not all atheists are just mad at God. There's a number of different reasons why somebody might be an atheist, and usually it does kind of seem that, that one gets punched on the most. Best Kickstarter right now, I have no idea. Who is my favorite reviewer? The problem with being a content creator sometimes is that you don't get a whole lot of time to watch other people's stuff. So I really don't have a favorite reviewer, but I do watch. I do enjoy watching other people's content often, and I think it's great that there are so many different people doing it. But I don't have a favorite. I have heard of Dorman Smithy, yes. And I believe we have a copy over in the other part of the studio. How often do I get to paint? Not very often. It's really hard to find time, especially during this time of the year. The end of the school year is really, really hectic with sports and programs and all of that kind of stuff. So there's just not a whole lot of time in the day. Are you excited about Wisdom of Solomon by Funhill? Do you know if the Dice Tower will be getting a review copy? I don't know, but I do know that we're going to be speaking to Dan King and I, who we do the Dice Steeple, and we're going to be speaking to Lance of Funhill Games and Philip Dewberry while we are at CMON Expo together. So we're going to be doing that Friday night. That's going to be the next episode of the Dice Steeple. So listen out for that. What board games were you playing before you met Tom? I really wasn't playing a whole lot of board games before I met Tom. Honestly, we were playing video games a lot. I remember playing Dark Forces in our dorm room at college on the computer a lot. So we were playing those. We got into Star Wars CCG just because I'm a Star Wars fan, and we kind of did that together. So, or the group of guys that we were palling around with, we all did it together. So, yeah, not a whole lot of board games. But board games up until college really kind of. In high school, I was more into role-playing games. Played things like Dungeons and Dragons, Cyberpunk, that kind of stuff. But board games were not really part of the picture until college, when I met Tom. So, and card games and stuff like that. So, why Dark Angels? Well, I like green. That's one of the main reasons. But I also just like the angelic theme that's behind them, the wings and that type of stuff. I like their chapter banners and the way they look. But I guess the main thing was the color green. I actually also had my very first Warhammer 40K army was actually going to be salamanders, and so it was either I liked how tough they were, but I liked the Ravenwing chapter of the Dark Angels, so that's where I kind of made the switch over. Quick thoughts on Settlers of Catan. I'm assuming you're meaning the board game, and it's good for what it does. It provides a entry level into the hobby, and people really enjoy it. So I can't talk bad about it, really. I'm kind of over it, but it does a great job of getting people around a table and playing a game together. So that's about as quick as I can get it. Have you tried the Deception Murder in Hong Kong expansion? Yes. How well does it scale? Very well. Is it mainly good for higher player counts? Yeah, I think so. It doesn't scale down very well. It scales up very, very well, because the more the merrier with that game. The problem with, and it's a problem that any game really suffers from, but the problem is that you have to have people that are engaged in order for that game to work. And if you have a couple in the group that are not engaged in the process that has to take place in Deception Murder in Hong Kong, the conversation and putting out your best foot in making a logical choice or argument based on who based on what other people have heard and who you think the murderer and accomplice is. If you're not engaged in that, if you have a couple people that aren't, then it can really drag. But because I've had that happen in youth group a couple of times, where a couple of the youth just weren't not at all having it. So there's that. Let's see, who is this? Sorry. Okay. Sorry, that was let's see here. Are you getting tired of all your questions yet? No, not at all. San Antonio care package is on the way to you. Oh, wow. Well, thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that. Anything I miss from San Antonio? Yeah, unfortunately, it's stuff like Bill Miller's Barbecue, Alamo Cafe, that type of stuff. So that won't fit in the box. So, Castle Golf and Games. But I heard Castle Golf and Games isn't there anymore. So that's kind of a sad face type thing. Have I ever played Secret Hitler? No, I haven't. Have you any good recommendations for big groups, 8 players more? Well, we just got through talking about Deception Murder in Hong Kong. That is actually really good with 8 players, and it scales well all the way up to, I believe now, I want to say 14 players, because I think it went up to 12 in the base game, and then it provided for a couple more players. I think it's 14 players now, but it plays very well at 8. That's when you can get the basic extra roles into the deck that people can use. So, will there be a Q&A with Tom Jason about cruise changes? I don't know. You have to ask Tom and or Jason about that. But I would imagine they're going to give you the lowdown and the skinny on everything that you need to know as soon as they can. When is Jason going to finalize his world record for the most board games? Is it possible to have him talk about his collection, his shorter sections that are not necessarily rushed to get through the piles? I don't know. I know Jason would love to do that. He loves talking about games. He loves talking about his collection. So, but again, he lives about an hour away from us. So the whole thing would be to, getting our equipment up there to record, including lights, so that we have good lighting and so it doesn't look shoddy. It's just difficult to do that. Let's see. Do you have any Kickstarter exclusive Blood Rage content? I don't even remember what was exclusive and what wasn't. I would imagine I have some. I know I have the starter piece that was given out to tournament winners. They gave me an extra one when I was at CMON last year, CMON Expo. So I have that, which is kind of an exclusive thing. But I don't recall what the other exclusive stuff was, so I apologize. Let's see. Wish I had Vernon in my group. My minis painted would be nice. Yeah, he does kind of. He offers to. It's sometimes people think that we kind of push it off on him. No, that's not the case. He loves painting miniatures, and he's like, he'll call us if he sees a game that he's really interested in. He'll say, "Hey, did you guys get this in yet?" And he'll ask us if we got it in, so that he can say, "Well, can I paint it?" And he'll ask to do a lot of that stuff. There have been a couple times I think that Tom's asked him to paint something for one reason or another, but more often than not. At least as far as I can recall, Vernon asks to paint the stuff that he does because he just enjoys it that much. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Here we are. What's your favorite roll and write this year? I don't have a favorite roll and write this year. And even if I did have it, there was one that was like garden themed, Harvest Dice. I think that's what it's called. That was really fun. I enjoyed that one. Top 10 live playthrough marathon? No. Make Z play TI4? Nah. If we get Z to play TI4, it's going to be because he wanted to. We're not going to make him do it. Did you enjoy Toronto? Yes. We enjoyed Toronto. We enjoyed getting lost in Toronto because GPSs, well, at least the GPS that we were having, that we were using was not updating very quickly. So we missed some turns and got turned around, and we took the scenic route to Snakes and Lattes. But it was fun. War theme or Viking theme? I would probably depends. I don't want to say just war theme, because I really am a sucker for like World War II war themes, not just any war theme. So I wouldn't say that, but usually almost any Viking themed game gets a glance from me at the very least. So I'll go with Viking theme. What can you say about Memoir 44 Air Pack? I don't like the original one. I think it added too much convolution to a game that did not need any convolution. Not that Memoir 44 is already convoluted. I just didn't like that it convoluted it. So that's one of the main reasons I didn't like the Air Pack. I thought it was a neat idea that just wasn't implemented very well, because it just made too many rules clunky and hard to follow. That's what they're supposed to be, I think, if I'm understanding correctly. That's one of the things that they're fixing with this new Air Pack. They're streamlining some of those rules, and they're making some of them a lot cooler. The miniatures are going to be really cool, pre-painted as well. So that's going to be cool. I believe there's going to be all new miniatures too. So again, I could be mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So it's not so much that I didn't like the idea. I just didn't like how the idea was implemented way back when. So I'm interested to see how they've changed it. Let's see. Having recently been to Snakes and Lattes, does Snakes and Lattes sleeve all their games like Cards Against Humanity? I think they do. We played a couple of their games, and I believe all of the cards are sleeved. That's almost a necessary thing for Board Game Cafe, because of all of the different liquids and food items that are being passed about. So I think it was, but I don't recall outright, but I think they do. Why don't you like Killer Bunnies and the Quest for the Magic Carrot? I haven't played that in forever, so I don't really know that I don't like it. I just haven't played it in forever. And I remember not liking it very much way back when, like almost 10 years ago. So I don't know if I would like it now if I played it again or not. Let's see here. Do you think that The Thing is as good as Battlestar Galactica? I've not played The Thing, so I can't say, but I would doubt, I guess you could say, that it is as good as Battlestar Galactica. So, when Kitchen Rush is going to be released? No, I don't. I have not played it either, so I don't know. I don't have anything to say about it. There are a lot of people who love playing adult card games who almost exclusively. Why turn that money away? Oh, I see. Going back to the Snakes and Lattes things, having a Cards Against Humanity copy. I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. I'm just not interested in playing that game, so I didn't even look to see if they had it. But I imagine that they do. They have a pretty wide selection, but I just don't know for sure. Wolfman is exclusive. Well, then yes, I do have a Wolfman model in my copy of Blood Rage. What's your favorite 3 powers and races in Small World? I would imagine I like the necromancy power, where you can convert other people that are adjacent to you. I like that one. And I like the barbarian's skill of being able to roll the reinforcement side before you attack. That's a pretty cool thing. Have I seen Cobra Kai? Yeah, I've seen the first few episodes, and I'm kind of on it. I did the whole free trial of YouTube Red to watch as many as I can, and I really haven't had the desire to get back and watch more of it, so I don't know. It's just not as good as I was hoping it would be. And again, I don't even know what I was looking for from it. more than just, I guess it's more nostalgia than anything else. And that's one thing I do like about the series. I love the flashbacks that show a little bit more of the scenes that come from the original movie. And I think they did that very well and seamlessly so. You can, I mean, if you look hard, you can tell where the new continuation of the old scene happens, but they did a pretty good job of it. So that's one of the things that I did like about it. I don't. Okay. Do I have a favorite card in Blood Rage? Frigga's Charm. Frigga's Charm, is that the one that gives you -1? Yeah, that one's probably my favorite. I usually try to get that. I think being able to manage your currency, the currency of rage in that game is one of the keys to winning. So I usually look for that card, and if I don't get it, I usually stay away from monsters, just because those monsters are so expensive. So yeah, that's a good one. I like the Sea Serpent too. Yeah, those are both good choices. Are there any co-op games you're looking forward to playing recently? No, not really. Have you and Dan King ever discussed maybe doing a live Q&A for Dice Steeple? I understand both of you are extremely busy. Well, we are very busy, and we are very far apart. He lives in Arizona, and I live here in Florida, so the time difference alone makes connecting difficult at best. Do you have a favorite game to play with Jason? You know, it used to be that you know, playing games with Jason has kind of grown on me. I'll put it that way, because he is so good at playing games. You can actually learn from him if you just watch what he does. Not copy what he does, but if you watch what he does, and the way his brain works is amazing. So I like playing just about any game with Jason, because he's usually super excited, and if he's not super excited, you know he doesn't like the game, because even if he just likes it a little bit, he's usually super excited about it. So yeah. Why is the Dice Steeple not put on YouTube, even if only audio? Well, I don't know. That's there. I guess that Tom's trying to keep it separate from the Dice Tower, but I don't know that that's actually the case. So I don't know. That's a question for Tom. Let's see. Most played game in recent times. Most played game in recent times. I guess my most played game. Wow, there's one that I know I've played a lot of. Because, you know, we play it and then it, you know, let's play it again, and let's play it again. Man, I'm just brain farting today. I apologize. I just can't focus. I can't remember. Most played game in recent times. Most played game in recent times. I would have to say probably Blood Rage, because I kind of got stuck with the and you know, it was brought on by myself, but of playing Blood Rage every convention I go to. So we go to a lot of conventions. I play Blood Rage at not everyone, but most of them. So that's probably my most played game recently. Do you think that the flood of Kickstarter demos on during Origins and Gen Con, since Kickstarter games are so popular right now? Possibly. There are seems like there's 1 or 2, maybe even 3 new board game Kickstarters every day, and that's just crazy. So maybe, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't think it is, but we'll see. Is there an equivalent game to Betrayal: A House on the Hill? It's more fleshed out. Not that I'm aware of. I'm not big on horror-themed games anyway. I'm very picky about the ones that I choose to go into, the ones I don't. So, Arabian Nights? Oh, wait. That was an answer. There you go. Maybe. Tales of Arabian Nights? I don't really like the game, but maybe that might be a good choice. I picked up AW says I picked up Quantum recently on your recommendation and love it. Good. What are your favorite card strategies to use in the game? I actually don't, because I haven't played that recently. It's been a while since I've played it, but so I wouldn't remember the different cards and all that. Do you have any crazy stories from Korea? Culture shock? Something lost in translation? Not really. I mean, we experienced all of that, but not any crazy stories, I don't think. Are there still wood versions of junk art in print? I don't know. I have no idea. See you at CMON Expo, trying to get into the game with you. Good job. Okay, Barney. Hopefully we'll see you there. Been out of Warhammer Fantasy for quite a few years. Do you think it's a good time to get into Warhammer 40K or Legion? Those are kind of the opposite, not really opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're definitely not the same end of the spectrum. They're both sci-fi, I guess you could say, but Star Wars Legion has a very Star Wars feel to it, whereas 40K is definitely not. I think they're two bears. And also, 40K plays a little bit different than Fantasy. I've never played Fantasy. From what I've seen over the years, it plays a little bit different. You don't have the trays or anything like that, and that makes for a little bit of a different experience. I know people are divided on that as well, so yeah. Shadespire's had a lot of stuff coming out for it. Anything you'd like to see in particular come out for it? No, not really. I think having new factions come out for it is a great thing, and I think it's largely going to improve the life of the game. Not that I think the life of the game was bad, but I think whenever you have more ways to play the same game from different aspects, with teams that do different things and specialize in different kinds of winning strategies and so forth, I think that's good for the game. What do you think about the Centuries sequel? I don't know that much about it, so I really can't talk about it. Thoughts on the Hellboy game? Same answer. I think it's cool that they're pulling that out. I like that idea, but yeah. Are you looking forward to savoring some of the food at the Columbus Central Market? Yeah, maybe. I am actually. That's one of the highlights of going to Origins is going to Central Market and that type of thing. So yeah, looking forward to it. What are your thoughts on the Street Fighter Miniatures game Kickstarter? I don't really have any thoughts about it. I saw it, but it's. I mean, it probably sounds weird me saying this, but it's another Kickstarter miniatures game, and those are a dime a dozen right now. So, didn't really catch much of my eye. Let's see. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're about 5 minutes over. Let's do. We'll do a lightning round real quick so that we can get a few of those in here. But it's just going to be for a few minutes. So I'm going to wait for those lightning round things to come in. So you give me two choices, and I have to choose one of them. That's how I usually close out my Q&As. So let's go ahead and get to that. Just a couple more questions before. Those start coming in. Do you think second edition of Fallout board game could save the series, or did we make up our minds on the first game? I don't know. If I guess some of the key changes, not make it as long, then maybe that could save it. But I don't know. That first foray was very highly anticipated, and then it turned out to be a dud. Why is my head so shiny? It's because I just shaved this morning, probably. Is there any game that has theme been implemented which you would like to see? No, not really. Okay, lemon pie or apple pie? Apple pie, definitely. All right, any more? Come on, let's go, people. Let's go. Chop, chop. Azul or Dragon Castle? Dragon Castle. I like that one a lot better. I like the aspect of building the castle and getting different levels and scoring those levels and so forth. I like that a lot better. Escape room or bowling? Probably escape room. I used to have a lot of fun with bowling. I played it when I was a kid a lot and had enjoyed it a lot. But I probably enjoy escape rooms better right now. All right. What else? What else we got here? What else? Apple or Android? I am an Android user. Hot dogs or hamburgers? I like burgers probably better. Time Stone or Space Stone? Time Stone would probably come in handy, so I would probably go for the Time Stone. Con or cruise? It's that's really like asking, would you rather go to a convention here or a convention here? Because the cruise is literally a floating hotel, and you're going to play games in a floating hotel. But you don't have to just play games. You can also go to the pool. You can also go to the spa. You can go to the gym. You can go get food at the buffet. You can go see shows. You can go ice skating. There's so many different. You can go play basketball. You can go use the Wave Rider. So many different things that you can do. But the place where we're having the convention is also very good. It has a very cool pool. It has a lot of different things you can do in the area. So it's really 1/6 of one, half a dozen the other. Flash or Arrow? I like the Flash better. Arrow got kind of dark. Marco Polo or Alien Frontiers? Probably Alien Frontiers. D&D or Pathfinder? Probably D&D. Stake. Closer to Rare or closer to Shoe? Definitely not closer to Shoe, but I don't like really Rare either. I usually go for medium. Water park or amusement park? Probably amusement park. Appetizers or dessert? Probably appetizers. Rising Sun or Blood Rage? Blood Rage. Episode 1 of Star Wars or Episode 2? I would probably say Episode 2. Big con or small cons? I like them somewhere in the middle. I think the smaller cons sometimes are just too small. They just seem kind of like a glorified game night, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. But the big cons can be just overwhelming. So I like to be in the middle or something, in the middle there somewhere. Ping pong or pool? I like ping pong better. Vegas or Reno? I liked Reno better. Let's see, Escape, Curse of the Temple, or Magic Maze? Neither. Maybe Escape, Curse of the Temple is probably better. Loopin' Chewy or Loopin' Louie? Loopin' Chewy is my favorite version of that. All right, well, that's about it. We're going to go ahead and close down the feed here so that we can let you guys get out to the rest of your day and I can get back to editing some videos. So thank you for joining me. I certainly appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to stop by and chat. This is always a good thing for me to do. It's fun for me to interact with you, and I hope that you guys can enjoy that as well. So we'll see you guys later on. Thanks so much for joining us once again. And that's it from here. We'll see you guys on the flip side.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.